Hey guys, it's Joey doing another video. I'm at my daughter's soccer practice. Feeling good, man. It's like 78 degrees in the DC area, and I'm feeling pretty good. I just did a lap over here. I did a full running lap, and I finished kind of tired, but I'm building it up. I'm exercising a lot, so that would have seemed impossible a year ago, and then who knows what next year holds. If that'll seem easy to me, like, oh, remember you struggled just to do I was like walk running, but I was running. I've been that's on top of going to work every day, you know, in a special education school, which I love, and standing a lot for school, standing a lot for my students. And it's not like an office job where you could sit and chill, but I wouldn't have it any other way. That's the job for me. Sometimes you hear about people's jobs like, why do you work that job? Maybe some people say that about me, but I actually really love my job. And it's not to say it's tough. It's not to say sometimes I don't want to do it. Sometimes I really don't want to do it, but I love it. And I'm really happy. And I feel like I'm gonna make it. You know, there's talk about remission and stuff that I've been going through. My hands are still a little, you know, inflamed here. Sometimes I get a little pain, but I think the majority of my problems right now, just like that guy, majority of my problems are from the damage already done. You know, I got scleroderma in like 2022, was diagnosed in 2023, and for like 2 years and a half, it just wreaked havoc on my body. Absolutely, really hurt my lungs. You know, I don't want to say decimated, but here I am. You know, I can still feel it in my lungs, but I've been taking a lot of supplements, reading up on a lot of things. And that's to say, I don't take medicine, and I don't recommend that to people. But I think the medicine, I'm still suffering some of the consequences, especially of methotrexate. You know, I took methotrexate for about 1.5 years, both pill form and IV. And I've also taken Cellcept. Methotrexate got so bad where I was dry heaving every 20 to 30 minutes at my work. And that was a time when I was like a resource teacher, so I could stay sitting the whole time. And a lot of times I would just like not do a good job. And, you know, now my job, I'm like the lead teacher of a classroom. So if I'm not around, I can't do nothing, you know. I mean, nothing happens in the class. So I'm very active. I can't take it. And Cellcept made me poop my pants. And it made me miserable. It ruined a family vacation in 2023 just because I was taking it and I was just like, it just was not good. So I'm looking into like stem cell therapies, this CAR-T stem cell therapy. I'm trying to get on a clinical trial, trying to call places, but I'm not taking any medicine right now. I am taking a lot of supplements, and I should do a video of that. A lot of these supplements show really good signs that they can, you know, potentially slow lung fibrosis down and even reverse it in some cases. And I know it's all like experimental new studies. Wow, everyone just decided to be really loud once I started recording. So that's a lot of hope in that. For example, they found in cough syrup medicine, DXM. They found DXM, it's called, dextromethorphan. It's found in cough syrup. Low doses can actually slow down lung fibrosis. It's a brand new study. Look it up. Sometimes even reverse it. And they found that like zinc and magnesium with a couple other things can slow and reverse lung fibrosis too. So there's like a lot of reason to hope, you know, even without taking these hard drugs. And I think that's my major gripe with the medical business is they're only going to prescribe you drugs that are really expensive. Because, you know, you could find iron anywhere. You could find zinc and DXM that's cheap. So they don't, you know, I don't know. It's conspiracy theory-esque, you know, but it just chaps my ass sometimes. Thinking about the medicines that they prescribe when the first thing that they should be doing is taking a vitamin test, checking your vitamin D levels. I take 10,000 IUs a day. I don't even know if that's enough. But vitamin D is absolutely essential. I need to do a video on that later, but how do you know if you're in remission? That's kind of my question. Sometimes I feel it, sometimes I don't, especially on warm days like this. I don't think my Raynaud's is going to be in remission anytime soon, but it goes away fast. You see, I have my hands pressed together. It's getting cold. I put on another shirt. I get cold really quick, but sometimes it's like, what's the difference between active flare-up versus just pre-existing damage? And that's something we all have to deal with no matter what. Is the damage done? You know, I have damage to my lungs, my throat, lost so much weight. Lost so much weight, dude. My muscles are gone. It's hard to pick up my son. Fatigue. So it's just something you have to deal with. And that's a lifetime of work. And I just say, like, I'm not saying don't trust doctors, don't trust sources you read, but there's a lot of new things coming to light. There's a lot of new therapies coming to light. And so we can deal with it. Oh, a new thing. When I first had this disease, it was like something new would pop up all the time. And this is the last new thing that's popped up, is actually acid reflux. It's the first time I've had acid reflux, where I get the burps all the time. And that's because I started an antidepressant, very, very low dose. But it's been great. And that's another thing I wanted to say. When you first get diagnosed with scleroderma, one thing that I really regret is not getting an advocate. And I know it's tough, but not getting an advocate who can help you with scheduling and organizing and keeping your confidence and faith up. Because, you know, I was thinking my doctor sucks and all that. Yeah, but she also scheduled some things that I didn't go to. She said some things that I didn't understand at the time. She, you know, she had me, I was supposed to go to Johns Hopkins to do all these tests, and I should have gone. I probably could have gotten the stem cell therapy there, but it was like brand new when I first learned about the disease, and I didn't know what it was. I didn't know how bad it was going to be. I didn't know that it was going to wreak havoc in my life, and I didn't have anyone believing me, and that's like the hardest thing. Because how do you force someone to believe that you have this disease that you don't even know nothing about? You know, I didn't understand it, and that's why I want to make these videos, and it's very unorganized. After we do all of these with like better organization, but how do you get an advocate? Because my own wife, you should be my advocate, and she is, but she's human. And so it's like she's the best person for me, and the best person for me still struggled to advocate for me, and that's not a knock on her at all. There's no knock on her, but it's like, what the frick is this? It's like I said, when I first got to the hospital, they thought it was pneumonia. Then it was like just arthritis, and then it was just Sjorgen's, and then it was this, and then it was that, and then it was this, and then it was that. And my doctor prescribed me something that messed me up really bad, and I got pissed. And I'm like, why would I need to check my my GI tract. I don't understand. The doctor did not describe it very well, in my opinion. Or maybe she did, and I just wasn't understanding it at the time. So there needs to be like more information. Like, you have scleroderma, you need to immediately get, this, and this. It's a full-time job, where when it first started, I wasn't willing to treat it like a full-time job. Now I have no choice, because I felt death knocking on my door. I've cried, I freaked out. I shouldn't say this, but I got a burp and it just doesn't come out. I took like the CBD thing for pain, and it had THC in it. That was, I freaked out bad, because then I'm looking at stuff and I just like, I'm gonna die. So my advice is get your mental health, and I hate that phrase, like, my mental health, but it's true. Whatever depression, you will get depression, you will get depressed, you will get sad. It just gets to you. It's a multi-headed monster. So like, get an advocate, have them promise that they will help you, guide you, in organizing your events, organizing your hospital visits. Write that down immediately. And I know some people are really good, but a lot of people ain't good at that, I bet a lot of people end up dying from this because, it's too much to manage. It's so difficult to understand. They can't even get a clear diagnosis of this. And so you have stuff going on with your lungs, and then it's your throat, and then it's your nose, and then it's your Raynaud's, and then it's your skin, and then your fingertips hurt, and then and then you get depressed. It just doesn't stop, and you just give up, because I felt like giving up a lot. And I think what helped my wife fully and she was supportive. I don't want to, this isn't bash wife time. My wife is like the most supportive person in my entire life. Only Jesus is more supportive. I need to do a video on religion too, but she's the most supportive person in my entire life, and even she struggled. So this isn't bash on her. She's my angel, man. I love my wife, and she's super fully on board now. But how can you be on board if you don't even understand what it is or know the severity to it? If I say I have Schum's disease, please support me. You're like, what is that? I don't know what that is. And you look up information, and it gives you this. It could be this. It could be this. It could be this. Do you have this? Not yet. Do you have this? Not yet. Kind of. And so that's a hard thing. So, get a journal, write stuff down, get good supplements, and look into stem cell therapy. If the immunosuppressants work for you, and they work for a lot of people, good. That's great. Especially if you could keep working on them. Another thing is my job that I changed. I'm in a more, at least for me personally, friendly environment, where people acknowledge me. They say, hi Joey, hi Joseph. They call me father sometimes. It's embarrassing. It's I'm a really bad person, but I kind of have a fatherly demeanor, which makes me want to get healthier even more when they show me that kind of deference, that respect, even though it's just minor. It's so important. And the other job that I had just wasn't nothing on them, but it just didn't connect with nobody, So I got a burp, and I keep coming. It just won't come out. The burp will not leave my body, because I've eaten something too, and then sexual dysfunction is also a big one. I gotta see a urologist. I gotta work on that too. So there's a lot of things. I talked to one of my spiritual advisors, and she was like, you're gonna have to mourn the loss of certain things. You can't play guitar anymore. You can't, maybe play rugby anymore. certain things I haven't given up on, you know. And I just want you to know that if you believe in Jesus, God, please do that. This is a chance to get really close. And I'm Catholic, and you see Jesus suffering, and just suffer with him, you know. Pick up your cross and take pride in that. That's my cross. So in a way, it's not all bad. It's a way to really empathize with the needy and the less fortunate, because I'm one of them in a way. People who have disabilities, because we are people with disabilities, right? That doesn't have to be a bad thing. And so my goal is to live with this for as long as I can. It's sad. I don't want to leave my son. My son's 2. I don't want to leave my daughters 14 and 10 and my wife. I don't want her to get remarried. I don't want to leave my wife, you know, as hard as this is. But, you know, there is an afterlife, and we'll all become equals at the end. So make sure you treat people really well. You know, make sure you do something, whether it's volunteering. I'm lucky I could get paid to do what I do, although it could be way better money. But you know, it's very, very enriching for me, you know, to be able to help people who are very less fortunate. I work with people who have intellectual disabilities. It's hard. But I think my disability, in a way, can be a positive thing, because I live with things that I can't do. You know, my muscles are stiff. I put on a coat like an old man. I can't run in PE class. So there's things that I can't do. I gotta stop teaching every now and then, because I still get sick from the methotrexate that I've been taking in like 6 months. I still get little vomit fits. I don't throw up. I never threw up really, but I get like the dry heaves. I don't get the dry heaves anymore, but I get the pre-dry heave, like, ugh. I could deal with that all day. But it's something I have to do to stop, or I get the acid reflux now. So I got a burp, guys. Sorry. So just keep that in mind. This video is all over the place. What are we talking about? Remission, advocacy, spirituality. And write me. Let me know if you have any questions. If you know anybody who's suffering from this, reach out. I'd be happy to talk to anybody. I'm hesitant to give like more advice. I just realized some of the errors I made, and I wanted to let people know that these were the errors I made, and just to learn from them if that is something that you're doing too, or you're struggling with. So that's all I got to say about that. We'll see you.